I'm a former gang leader. I did almost 30 years in prison, day for day, for a murder I didn't do. But I've been out here in Houston, being part of the solution as opposed to part of the problem. I came home and hit the ground running, trying to do something about this escalating gang problem that's going on in our city that's costing the lives of so many of our youth out here. So I'm doing everything that I possibly can in my God-given power to get out here and educate the community about the negative consequences of gang violence. Because it was Jesus who intervened in my life and met me where I was at and stirred my spirit to stand up and step out and be the individual that he had called me to be, and gave me my directional purpose in life to get out here in the community and engage with the people and just do everything that I possibly can to open their eyes about what's going on with the youth in our community in terms of them losing their lives before their time or going to jail and not being able to live out their dreams, in totality. And I just try to be that living example to show people that even after 30 years in prison, even after being a former gang leader, that I'm able to come out here into society and be a law-abiding citizen, to be a father, be a husband, a business owner, and so forth and so on. Sometimes we grow up in the inner city and we have a negative connotation, a negative perspective on what law enforcement is and their position within our community. But since I've transitioned and transformed my life, I have solid, strong relationships with members of the law enforcement community. I work with them during various presentations, workshops, and they're people just like anybody else. They want to grow up in a safe community. They want their kids to prosper. They want everything to be conducive to positive growth and development for the city overall in general. And I think that sometimes the narrative is directed to paint a negative perspective on law enforcement, when in fact, sometimes we forget that law enforcement is there to protect and serve. But I also need law enforcement to understand also that the role is bigger than just suppression. It's bigger than just locking people up. I went to prison for a murder I didn't do. So look at the dynamic there. I could have came home and been bitter at law enforcement. I could have been angry and upset because of how the process evolved. But instead, I realized that we're all humans, right? And that at some point in time, we may make mistakes, but it's okay, because forgiveness is the greatest gift that I can give anybody. Until we come to the self-realization that we all need each other for the common good of the people, that we all need to partner and work with each other, then there's always going to be a disconnect somewhere, somehow. But the majority rules, right? So if we have an overall objective and the overall mindset that I'm going to wake up this morning and I'm going to do something positive for my community, I'm going to do something good for another human being, I'm going to be that example.
If you're standing face to face with a troubled youth or even a troubled adult who's on the streets, who's lost hope, who has no sense of direction, who has no system of support, you got 20 seconds to talk to that person. What do you tell them?
I used to be just like you, but I want you to realize that you're not alone. Plain and simple. Because most youth that are in that predicament right there, they feel that their voice is not being heard, that they do not have a position in society, nor are there any solutions to their problems.